Father's Day was supposed to be a celebration. Families filled the community hall with laughter. Children handed over handmade cards, and fathers proudly posed for photos with their loved ones. I arrived carrying a simple white envelope and a small gift, hoping that maybe, just maybe, this year would be different. For as long as I could remember, my father had never truly believed in me. No matter what I achieved, he always found something to criticize. If I earned good grades, they weren't high enough. If I worked overtime, he said, I lacked ambition if I helped others. He called me weak. Every Father's Day ended the same way, with me trying to earn his approval and him reminding me why I never could. Still, I showed up. When I entered the hall, I spotted him standing with relatives, laughing loudly. My older brother stood beside him wearing an expensive suit. As soon as my father noticed me, his smile disappeared. Well,
he announced loudly enough for everyone to hear,
look who finally decided to show up. Did you borrow those clothes too? A few people laughed awkwardly. I forced a smile. I just came to wish you a happy Father's Day. He looked at the small gift in my hand and scoffed. That's all you could afford. Your brother bought me a luxury watch. Everyone admired the watch while my gift remained unopened. The room felt smaller. I wanted to leave, but my grandmother quietly squeezed my hand. Stay, she whispered. Not everything is what it seems. Lunch began, and one by one, family members shared stories about their fathers. When it was my turn, I stood nervously. I know my relationship with my dad hasn't always been easy. I began, but today I wanted to thank him. Because every hardship taught me to become stronger. Before I could continue, my father interrupted. Oh, please. He laughed. You became stronger. You're barely successful. Your brother owns a business. You rent a tiny apartment. What exactly are we celebrating? The entire room fell silent. My cheeks burned with embarrassment. He wasn't finished. I've always wondered how two sons raised the same way could turn out so differently. Those words cut deeper than anything he'd ever said. Without speaking, I placed the white envelope on the table. I brought this for you. He rolled his eyes. If it's another emotional letter, save it. It's not. He shrugged then. Let's see what disappointment looks like. He grabbed the envelope and opened it in front of everyone. Inside were several official documents. At first he frowned, then his face turned pale. His hands started shaking. He flipped through every page again. This can't be right. His confident voice disappeared. Everyone leaned closer. What is it? My uncle asked. My father couldn't answer. Instead, he looked directly at me. Where did you get these? I finally spoke from the attorney. What attorney? The one Grandma hired. Every eye turned toward my grandmother. She calmly stood up. I think it's time everyone learned the truth. The room became completely silent. She explained that 25 years earlier, my grandfather had created a family trust. The money wasn't meant for the child who earned the most or impressed the family. It was intended for the child who demonstrated honesty, compassion, and responsibility. For years, the trust had remained untouched, because Grandpa wanted the final decision made after his passing. The attorney had recently completed the evaluation. Inside my envelope was the official announcement. I had inherited the family trust. Not my brother, me. My father stared at the papers in disbelief. There must be a mistake. Grandma slowly shook her head. No mistake. She reached into her purse and removed another letter. This is from your father. She unfolded the old paper. I've watched both grandsons grow. She read. One seeks applause. The other quietly helps when nobody is watching. Character matters more than wealth. Therefore, my estate belongs to the grandson who never expected it. Several relatives looked shocked. My brother lowered his eyes. Grandma continued. Your younger son visited your father every weekend during his illness. She looked directly at my father. You only visited twice. The room froze. I had never told anyone, not because I wanted recognition. I simply loved my grandfather. My father looked around, realizing everyone now knew the truth. Then Grandma spoke again. Do you remember who paid for my surgery last year? He nodded proudly. Your older son. She shook her head. No, she pointed at me. He secretly covered every medical bill and asked the hospital never to tell anyone. Gasps echoed through the room. Even my brother looked surprised. I had used nearly all my savings because I couldn't imagine losing Grandma. She hugged me tightly. You've spent your whole life giving without expecting praise. My father's hands trembled harder. He looked back at the documents. The trust wasn't just money. It included Grandpa's farmland, investment accounts, company shares, and the family home, everything. The inheritance was worth millions. My father suddenly tried to smile. "Son, we should talk privately." For the first time in years, he called me son. I quietly replied, "Why?" "So no one hears what you say." His smile disappeared. I didn't mean everything I said. But everyone heard it. Silence returned. He looked genuinely desperate. "I'm proud of you," I answered softly. "You weren't proud 5 minutes ago." Those words hit harder than any argument. The attorney who had quietly entered with Grandma stepped forward. "There is one final condition in the trust. Everyone listen carefully. The beneficiary may choose who, if anyone continues living in the family house." My father looked hopeful. I thought about every birthday, ignored every insult every moment. I believed I wasn't enough. Then I remembered something Grandpa once told me. Kindness should never become revenge. I smiled gently. "You can keep living there." My father sighed with relief. "But under one condition." "What is it? You apologize." He nodded quickly. "I will not." To me, he looked confused. "To everyone here." His eyes filled with tears. Slowly, he turned toward the guests. For the first time in my life, my father admitted he had spent years comparing his children, praising money over kindness, and judging success by appearances instead of character. He apologized to my brother for placing impossible expectations on him. He apologized to me for never believing in me. Many people cried, so did he. When the celebration finally ended, Grandma walked beside me toward the parking lot. She smiled. "Your grandfather always knew this day would come." I looked at the envelope one last time. It hadn't just carried legal documents. It carried the truth. My father had spent years humiliating me because he believed success was measured by wealth and status. But one envelope revealed something far more valuable. Real success is measured by integrity, compassion, and the quiet choices we make when nobody is watching. That Father's Day, the loudest scream wasn't caused by losing an inheritance. It was the sound of a man realizing he had almost lost the greatest gift a father could ever have, a child who still chose forgiveness over revenge.